Okay, how about that? Is that better? Can you hear me now? Now you should be able to hear me. Hopefully. Hopefully that's better. Excellent. Okay. So let's try that again from the top, talking about what the heck I was just talking about. So we were gonna play Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance today because we were talking about that in our last stream, and I was so excited to play it in because we're talking about. I was like, that game was really. It was a lot of fun. It's been a while since I played it, so I downloaded it on Steam, and that was by far the worst port I have ever played of a game. Like, no windowed mode. It ran at 200 times speed because it couldn't handle the acceleration of modern hardware. Like, it was an absolutely terrible port of a game. So I had to request a refund from Steam on that one, and hopefully we will be able to play like the original game, maybe on original hardware or something. 'Cause that was such a bad port. I could not believe how terrible that port was. So unfortunately, no Baldur's Gate today, but Ghost of Yotai is coming in the mail, so we should have Ghost of Yotai coming here soon and be able to play that instead. So more to come, more good games to come. I'm sorry, Dex, that one, you're probably hungover today, but also that you didn't win your Legos we talked about. I know that was a disappointment. I apologize for that disappointment in your life. I'm sorry, that sucks. Today we are going to talk about the Pope, because the Pope is out here throwing hands in the best way possible. So once we have a few more people here, we'll get into our main topic of talking about the Pope today. And then Ghost of Yotai. I also have my new cameras coming today, so hopefully we'll have a chance to go around and play with that a little bit. Very excited to play with the new camera. And we now have goals in vertical live stream that YouTube. So I joined that YouTube like boot camp not long ago. Well, actually, it's been like 6 months ago I joined it, and I decided it was horrible. It was such like a, here's how you make money, make the most money off people. That's like not what I want. I just wanted, a way to grow my community and see more people. And it wasn't what I wanted at all, but they said that I was one of the top 10 participants, which I didn't participate at all. So that should tell you how poorly the program did overall. But as one of the top 10 participants of the entire program, they went ahead and sent me a fancy YouTube light. So now I have a light up YouTube desktop lamp coming in the mail for my bravery and participation. So we will have that coming as well. So I can't wait to have a little YouTube light behind me. It's not as good as a YouTube Black, but it's something. But they sent me an email saying, hey, we introduced live goals, and I was like, okay, I'll try that out. Like, not here for money, but if y'all want to help me get to Italy, I will gladly appreciate any help on the pilgrimage to Italy someday. Hopefully next month we'll make, not next month, next year. We're not going to make it in a month, but next year we're going to make it to Italy. Very excited for that. So I'm very sad that it did not work out to get to play Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, because I remember loving that game so much, but that port was something else terrible. So hopefully Ghost of Yotai doesn't disappoint. And I've heard that the port for the new Final Fantasy Tactics is not a disappointment. I've heard that it is very good. So very, very excited to try that one out. So we will see how that goes. Okay, Missile Silo can solo those bunkers. That actually makes the Missile Silo good for something. The fact that it can solo that thing is pretty good. That is what we like to see. Use for an item. Excuse me. I feel like I'm wearing my shirt backwards or something. It feels like I got something in my throat. Alright, we're halfway through the mission. We have no gear because I had a stupid death. But we're making it. We're making it slowly. Also, very excited for today. This weekend we're gonna go see. We were gonna do it today, but at some point this weekend we're gonna go see Good Boy, the horror movie with the dog that looks like a ridiculously dumb but fun horror movie. So we will be enjoying Good Boy this weekend. Very excited to get to watch that. Elmi, hello, good morning. How's it going today?
Requesting orbital.
Okay, that should land. That was a pretty good throw. That should. Maybe I overshot it. Honestly, that might have been a bad throw. Boom. Okay. I've actually heard good things about. That's what every single review for the game, or not every single review I've watched for the movie has said that it is like a sleeper horror. Like everyone is surprised that it's as good as it is. That it has no business being that good, and yet it is that good. So I am very excited to go see it. I've heard nothing but great things about it, so I'm very excited to go see Good Boy. Excuse me. So I'm very hyped for that. We're also going to go to the pumpkin patch. I know it looks like I'm too old for pumpkin patches, but every time we've gone to the Bauman's pumpkin patch, there have been families out in the sunflower fields that they have planted, and almost every single time there's always been someone who wants photos taken, but they can't because they got their kid and they're trying to make it work. And so almost every time we've gone, I've been able to like, hey, you know, I just so happen to be a professional photographer. I see you're struggling with taking photos. Would you like me to take a photo for you? Would you like, you know, some professional photos? And that's always worked out great for me. So I'm very excited to get to go because I love offering that to people. And I used to try and work out like, you know, like, oh, well, let's work out payment or whatever works. And I just don't care anymore. I enjoy photography for the thrill of photography, and I'm done trying to argue about payments and make people feel bad in the moment. It's just, you know what? Here are the photos for free. I will not charge you 1 penny for the photos. If you want to tip me, you are more than welcome to tip me, but I'm no longer doing the trying to work out payments and all that. Like, I don't do weddings anymore because it's so much stress, and people for so much money, they expect so much, and I don't want to stress about it. I do photography for the pure love of it, and I don't really do people. I usually do animals, so I just don't even worry about the money associated with it anymore. It's just purely for the love of photography. T-Dog, good morning. How's it going this morning? All right, let's see if that first one was a fluke. Let's see. Can we aim this right there? It was not a fluke. That missile silo absolutely decimates command bunkers. That is great to know. What's going on this morning, T-Dog? Anything new? Anything exciting? Anything fun? Lots of work today, but ready to go. One of the best things I've ever done is get every Friday off. I work 4/10s, so yes, your weekdays are longer. But having every single Friday just off is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So if your work offers you the ability to do that, you absolutely should do that. It is so worth having the extra day off. The 3-day weekends is just incredible. So if you have that option, I suggest you try and take it.
Orbital inbound.
Excuse me. Okay. That barrage should take out that problem. Now we've got to deal with this problem. I don't have anything to deal with this problem, so
New mag.
I have a busy work day and then running a horror game. Ooh, are you running like a D&D 5e horror game, or are you running like an actual like game meant for horror? What system are you running it in? There's one system I've always wanted to play for horror games that uses Jenga pieces as the actual like game pieces, and the way it works is every time something in the game fails, you have to remove a Jenga piece. So it's, at first it's easy, but by the middle of the game, someone, as soon as a Jenga tower falls, a character leaves the game in a violent manner. So it's guaranteed that someone at some point is going to perish in a horrible way, and it makes the tension really real when you can physically watch people struggling to remove the Jenga pieces. So I've always wanted to try that horror game. I don't think it technically counts as horror, but I've always wanted to try Blades in the Dark. I've always heard that Blades in the Dark is a really, really fun campaign game to run, so I want to try that one. Playing DC-20, and you're adding fear. DC-20, I have never gotten to actually play DC-20, but I am a big believer in DC-20. I actually backed the Kickstarter and have like the original alpha and stuff because I love the idea of DC-20. And the thing that they did that I really feel like every game can learn from, excuse me, is they I don't know what's stuck in my throat today. They unstuck the tropes and stats to characters. Goofy team, hello. Got off early because of a storm. I've heard that there's a winter advisory going on around there. Like there's big snowstorms and stuff going through. What's going on? So like in DC-20, if you want your barbarian to have his main stat as charisma, you can do it. You can make a barbarian that has his strength and ability is through his leadership rather than just raw, I'm big barbarian, I'm dumb and strong. And I think that's really cool. You can also make like muscle wizards where wizards draw their magic from strength rather than intelligence. So you can have a big brawny wizard if you want to. You can have rogues that are based on strength, so more like your ruffian and brigand build rather than like dexterous and clever. So I really love DC-20's ability to untie stats to classes, and you can really dream big. If you want to have a super smart barbarian who fights brilliantly, and that's why he's really good at combat, you can do it. If you want to have a muscle wizard, you can do it. If you want your bard to be based on intelligence and book smarts rather than charisma, you can do it. I think that's that is absolutely essential, I feel like, to all Dungeons & Dragons games going forward. I hate being forced into a trope, right? Like, I hate, okay, I'm going to run a warlock, I have to have charisma. Like, my dump stat needs to be strength or dexterity, and I have to have charisma. Like, all your characters end up the same. And yes, there is the ability to make your character really your own through some feats and stuff, but especially at like low levels, if you're playing a low level campaign, you've got if you had like 3 level 3 paladins in the party, 99% of those characters are going to be the same. You're going to have similar stats, you're going to have similar damage, you're going to have similar abilities. Yes, they might have 1 or 2 spells different, and like their background might be slightly different, but at least in D&D 14, those characters are going to be darn near identical. At least with D&D 2024, you now have like the starting feats, your background, your heritage feats, which gives you a little bit more control that your characters are going to be a little bit different, but like mechanically those characters are going to be pretty much the exact same, and I dislike that a lot. So I'm glad DC-20 has shaken that up. I'm sad I've never gotten to play DC-20. It's just some rain and wind, I think. Interesting. I remember when I was in school, of course, we always hoped that the school would be canceled for any reason, right? Too sunny of a day, cancel school. Too much wind, cancel school. You know, whatever the excuse was, you just wanted school to be canceled. So I feel it. You played way too much, lots of fun builds. We're playing a Michael Myers game. Been playing level 3 for a while. You haven't gotten tired of it. At least in D&D 20, I feel like the sweet spot is mid-level. Like, once your characters get, like, level 10, 12, you're way too powerful. I feel like there's really the sweet spot is, like, between level level 5 and level 7 I feel like is the sweet spot for D&D. You get like the extra attacks, you have a little bit more Nova, you've got a little bit more of your character fleshed out, you've got a couple of your key features that make like the paladins or make the warlocks. I feel like level 5 to 7 really is like peak D&D. Though it is fun to sometimes do high-level campaigns. Sometimes it's fun to have absolutely broken characters that are absolutely decimating everything. Like, don't get me wrong, that is funny. But playing for games, I will never play. If I can help it, I will never play a D&D campaign that starts at level 1. Though I feel like there should never be a level 1 in Dungeons and Dragons, especially since most class feats, at least in 2014, 'cause that's what I played the most of. You don't even get like your subclass until you're level 3, right? Like, I'm not playing a paladin, I'm playing an Oath of Devotion or whatever, right? So like, why would I want to play 2 levels of not my character? It should start at level 3. I will never play a D&D game if I can help it that starts at level 1. Bare minimum, start me at level 3, preferably level 5, and let's play level 5, 7, 8, 9. That is premium peak Dungeons and Dragons to me.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Reinforcement budget depleted.
Another D&D game I hope to play someday. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called Beef Stew. And that sounds absolutely dumb, but there is this really cool Dungeons and Dragons game. I'm pretty sure it's called Beef Stew that they made. And the idea is it takes place after your adventure is done. So you're playing as maxed out adventurers. You've saved the world. The story is over. And the idea is now you are converting from an adventurer to a blacksmith or a merchant as you're finding your way into real non-adventuring life. And so how it works is you start with a ton of abilities that are based on your background as like a wizard or a fighter or whatever your class was. But as you use those abilities, you lose access to them. So the idea is you're using that experience one last time to solve a problem, but once you've done it, since you've moved on from that life, like, you're forgetting how to do those things. And it's a cool way to retire your character and bring them from adventurer to the end. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people miss in Dungeons and Dragons game. Granted, because most of the time the game ends because either A, your character is gone forever to the abyss, or you know, the scheduling monster gets you, and now there's no game because no one can come together anymore. But I feel like so many games end prematurely. Like, yay, we took out the big bad, and now the adventure's over. Like, no, the adventure is just getting started. Like, what about retirement? What about love and marriage and kids and hopes and dreams and all those sorts of things? Like, to me, that's my favorite part of like role-playing games, and roleplay is not fighting the monsters, but what do you do when the monsters are over? Like, getting to see that character have a happy or good ending, or see them fall in love and get married and finally have children, or whatever their goals and hopes and dreams are. Like, to me, that will always be like the true end game of Dungeons and Dragons. That is what I hope and strive for in every game, is seeing this character make it to the end. They've made it to the happiness. That's my favorite part of D&D for sure. Let's see, let's grab an auto cannon sentry, and just for fun, let's grab a mech. Glad I'll never play D&D. See, I've said that when I got DC 20, I said the same thing. I will never play D&D again. I've got DC 20. This is much better. The problem is, if you couldn't tell by looking at me or listening to me talk, I don't have friends IRL who live near me. So I have no one in my local area to play Dungeons and Dragons with, which means I am forced to play D&D online, which there's nothing wrong with playing D&D online. I'm not saying D&D online is bad. However, it is incredibly incredibly difficult to convince people to play anything but Dungeons and Dragons. Like anytime I say, hey, I'm going to be running a D&D game or anything like that, let's play this system, inevitably people are like, wow, that system's complicated and I don't really know how to play that. Could we just play this in D&D instead? And it just becomes that over and over again. It's like, well, I don't want to spend time learning a new system, so can we just play Dungeons and Dragons instead? And like, I get it, you spend a lot of time learning how to play Dungeons and Dragons. Nixia subscribing to the random YouTuber. Thank you for the random subscribe. I appreciate that. I know that you've put a lot of effort into learning D&D, so you don't want to learn another game, especially if you're only going to play it once. But like, we live in the golden era of TTRPGs. We have so many cool games. We have so many cool variants of D&D, DC-20, all those different things. Like, why are we limiting ourselves to just D&D 5e when there's so many better options now? But no one wants to play them. No one wants to learn them. And I'll admit, I'm guilty of it too. There are sometimes when I'm looking for a game where I'll go like scrolling through Reddit looking for different game options, and I'll see someone running a game that I've never heard of, and I'll say, do I really want to spend the time learning this game for the good chance that this game won't even come to fruition, that the game will fail before it even comes together? And the answer is usually, nah, I don't really feel like learning something else. So I get it, but at the same time, it feels so limiting that we live in this golden era of Dungeons and Dragons, and yet people will only play 5e when we have so many other good options available to us as well. Alright, that is destroyed. Let's get out of there. One outpost down, on to the next. Let's grab a resupply and... Actually, let's not use my mech just yet, because I have to go up there and call down a Hellbomb. So we'll grab the mech after that. I do really want to try Blades in the Dark, though. I've heard nothing but great things about Blades in the Dark, so that's definitely on my list to someday try Blades in the Dark. Especially, I love a mechanic from Blades in the Dark that allows you to basically, if I understand the mechanic correctly, you can do like basically what you do in heist movies, where when you're running an adventure, something will eventually happen where like, oh no, we need this MacGuffin in order to continue, but we didn't bring said MacGuffin, so the heist is over. And you can say, nope, my character planned for that, and then you can go back in time and talk about how your character had like the foresight to plan for this problem, and when you were preparing, you did XYZ, and then were able to properly prepare for that eventuality. I think that's a really cool mechanic that you can just say, nope, we planned for this, and then you go back in time and fix it, like having a flashback. That's what it's called. You flash back to when this event happened, say, nope, I actually prepared for this and grabbed this. And I think that's such a cool mechanic in a game, and I love that, and I'd love to see more of things like that in games. I love that flashback mechanic. Alright, let's destroy these. We've got 8 minutes left. You know what? We might not be able to complete this area. We might need to go do something else. We don't have enough people. Don't have enough people with us here. Let's at least complete the main mission before we start risking our lives unnecessarily. I've always tried to bring that into my games. I'm not sure how to do it well. Blades in the Dark has a dedicated mechanic for it, so when there's like a dedicated mechanic for it, it always works better. Honestly, I don't know how it would make that work. Like in Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know how it would make that mechanic work super well, because you've got like, if you give players the option to do it too often, then you trivialize the content, right? If they're just able to at any moment say, nope, I brought this, and go back in time and have it, then it can trivialize certain content. So it needs to be something that they can have access to sometimes, but not all the time. And that's what makes it tricky. Like, it has to be like once per long rest, or like a feature that you can use, do your proficiency bonus, or something that has a limited use, so that people are still encouraged to use it, but not too much. My My mech is stuck, so that's frustrating. My body for Super Earth. We are out here doing it for Super Earth. We are out here getting wrecked for Super Earth because no one has joined my game, and we're doing a blitz. So we're having a rough time out here trying to solo this. We're about ready to get bodied because I am out of stims. There we go.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
We love us some Helldivers. Today hopefully is the last Helldiver stream for a little bit of time though, because Ghost of Yotai is finally coming out, and I will have that today hopefully. And I'm so ready to get lost in Ghost of Yotai. So I suck at Blitz, to be honest. Usually for automatons, Blitz is super easy because you just grab a spear and you can clear it from anywhere. But on these city maps, on the super city maps, it's really hard because you don't get a clear line of sight into all the enemies. So that's what makes it especially hard, is not having a clear line of sight. But I can't do that. But usually the spear just absolutely rocks it. Alright, let's run past these guys. I'm also wearing the wrong armor. Usually I have the Butcher armor on, and the Butcher armor is like a cheat code at these games. Because the Butcher armor is just so powerful for the extra stims. I am on PC. I am on PC. I hate to say it, but I think Xbox is kind of at its end. Like with all the Xbox announcements, like the Game Pass price raising, and the fact that Xbox isn't sold in like Costco anymore, and all that, and then Xbox like released all their exclusives on other consoles. Like I think Xbox has officially given up. I think they are out of the console wars, and I feel like they have lost the console wars. I don't really feel like it's weird to say, but this might be like the last generation we talk about Xbox. There's like a good chance that like no one cares about Xbox anymore in the future because they've just been making so many bad decisions lately. It's weird to think about because like the console wars have been brewing and brewing and brewing, but like it might be over. Like I think PlayStation might just be declared the victor. Like even though the Switch 2 and Switch 1 did very well, I don't think Nintendo will ever be considered a winner of the console war because there's still always going to be those people like, well, Nintendo's a baby console for babies. Like there's still like the hardcore gamers out there who will always insist that it doesn't have Call of Duty, it doesn't have a man's man game in it, it's for children. And while I don't agree with that, I feel like we're never going to see Nintendo be on the winners for that, just because they're people who hold this strange ideal that if there's not excessive violence and gore, then it's not for real gamers. Such a weird mentality, but exists. I had a 360, I got the Ring of Death and went back to PlayStation. Me too. I got the Ring of Death during the 360 era as well. That was a big bummer. But I wanted to continue supporting Xbox, but once I got my gaming PC, it was just like, well, why would I buy an Xbox? Like, what benefit? I have a PC. All the Xbox games are on PC, so like literally, what's the point of investing in that? And I never got a good answer for why I should ever invest in Xbox. So I was just like, well, I guess I won't invest in Xbox. So let's see. We are out of grenades. We need to reload our spears. This is a bad position to be in here. Let's see if we can go back and get some more of our stims.
Have a taste of democracy.
We're gonna run out of time. We didn't do very well in this mission. We beat the mission, but not very well. Okay, I take that. There is one reason to get an Xbox. There's one reason there's one game that is on Xbox that you cannot get anywhere else. This is a difficulty 10. This is a solo super hell dive. So this is a level 10 by ourselves. Viva Pinata. Viva Pinata is the reason to get an Xbox. That is such a good game, and it is such a shame that it has never been ported to any of the other consoles. Viva Pinata is an incredible game, and I'm sad that there is not as much love for Viva Pinata. Nintendo has 5 of the top 10 best-selling consoles of all time. Oh yeah, I'm saying Nintendo absolutely deserves to be on that list of potential winners of the console war. I don't think anyone's ever going to acknowledge it, because again, gamers can be a very stupid makes very stupid decisions sometimes. So like, people are still crying about the new Silent Hill, and I'm seeing all these posts, one about being woke because you can't look up the girl's skirt, but also I saw someone say that it's anti-marriage, that the game is an assault on traditional values, because, and I don't know any of this for certain because I've never played the Silent Hill, but apparently the story for the new Silent Hill is that you are running away from an arranged marriage that your underage character doesn't want to take part in, and people are crying that that's an affront to traditional values, that how dare she insult marriage by not wanting to be a part of an arranged marriage to an adult. Like, again, gamers aren't beating the allegations. That is some straight stupid things gamers say sometimes. All right. We promised talking about the Pope, so I want to talk about the Pope for a second here, because Pope Leo is out here with hands. Sparky! Good morning, Sparky! Creeping is just a fact of life. That is a fact of life for gamers, absolutely. Pope Leo is out here with no mercy throwing hands, and you know, when Pope Francis passed away and we were getting a new pope, everyone was wondering whether or not we would get a continuation of Pope Francis or not. Raven, good morning. So Pope Francis came out and admonished the Trump administration, and he said to all the people, hey, if you say that you are pro-life, but you are supporting the mistreatment of immigrants and criminals, then maybe you're not actually pro-life. And people are so upset by this because he is calling them out on, you can't say that you are pro-life and that you love human life if you support the mistreatment of people who are immigrating or things of that nature. And, like, man, the Pope just slapped him down for that. And then he went out and talked about climate change. And this was the most ridiculous statement I've ever seen. So he was talking about how climate change affects everyone, but it affects the poor, and that climate change is something we need to tackle, and that good Christians should be stewards of the earth. These are not radical opinions. These are opinions that all Catholics should have. And someone came onto the Catholic forum and complained about, well, why is Pope Leo so concerned about the poor? Like, why is the Pope out here talking about the poor people when it impacts me too? So why does he care? Why do Christians care more about the poor than me? And like, that was the most tone deaf and stupid statement I have ever seen someone make on the Catholic forums. You are allegedly a Catholic, and you were asking, why does the Pope care about the poor more than he cares about me? Like, did you just not pay attention when you went to church every single week? As a Catholic, church is mandatory every week. You are required, obligated to go to church every week, so you're just not paying attention? Like, since when do Christians care about the poor? I don't know, it's just kind of, there's an entire series of books about it. And then he blessed a chunk of ice. And this is the other one that got me. It got my goat so good. He blessed a chunk of ice to talk about global warming and the ice caps melting and the danger to the world. Great thing he did. and all the rad trads came out to complain about, oh, he's abusing the sacraments, and he's blessing things frivolously, and he should be recalled as pope, and he's the worst pope because he's doing this. And it's like, dude, I have seen the rad trads. There are rad trads every day who like, well, I had my local priest bless my house, and they blessed my car, and they've blessed my pets, and they blessed 17 of my rosaries, and they blessed my Bible. And they're like, you ask for every single thing to be blessed, and the second he blesses something that you disagree with, all of a sudden it's liturgical abuse. Like, literally this weekend is dedicated to St. Francis of Assisi, and it's the blessing of the pets, where people bring their pets out to be blessed, and people bring alligators, camels, llamas, like all sorts of animals to be blessed. So everything can be blessed except for the ice. That's the one that's a step too far. That's the one that's somehow impossible to comprehend. Like, and here's the thing that I say to these folks is like, it is okay to disagree with the Pope. You are not required to accept every single thing the Pope says. Popes can be wrong. So I will start with that statement. It is absolutely okay to disagree with the Pope. However, the Pope was hand-selected as a scholar of the Bible, leader of the flock, who typically has somewhere between 30 and 60 years of experience in Catholicism. He is going to be one of the most well-read individuals on any given topic at any time. So who is more likely to be correct? Random rad trad who's 21 years old and has read the Bible once? Or the Pope with all that experience? Like, when people want to disagree with the Pope, I want to gently remind them that you're talking about decades of experience and expertise with a support staff backed by 2,000 years of history and culture and knowledge and education, and you're just some random dude. So who's more likely to be correct? Migrants have caused a little bit too much trouble in the UK recently for me to feel a type of a way about what the Pope is saying. And that's so, in Catholicism, Catholics can be all for closed borders and a proper immigration process. The Pope wasn't saying that we can't have that, but what he is saying is that we need to treat those people with dignity and respect. And that's what's not happening in the United States right now, is that certain people who are being caught by like ICE are not being treated with the human dignity and respect. So all the Pope was trying to convey is, we can have a legal procedure. We can have a legal procedure for deportation. We can have these systems in place. But first and foremost, what should be at the front of every single person's mind is human dignity being preserved? And that's the key element we're missing right now, is that human dignity is not being preserved, at least in America, in some of these situations. And that's all the Pope was trying to convey, is that we need to, first and foremost, have a respect for human life and human dignity. And that gets lost so much, especially among the really young radical traditionalists for the church. You know, when they're out here crying for crusades every, left and right, they're forgetting that these are human lives that they are calling to be put in danger because of this. So that is all the Pope is trying to remind people of, is the human dignity needs to be preserved. He can be right in morality while still being impractical for the modern world. And that is a nuanced point that I definitely feel a lot of people also miss out on, that it is possible to have the moral high ground and be correct morally, but also miss like the impracticality of things. And this always comes up when we talk about like the discussion around the homeless, the unhoused, that sort of conversation, is that it's very easy to say, yes, we should just give all the homeless should have all the food, water they can drink. They should have free housing. They should have access to mental health and all these things. Like, yeah, I absolutely agree. All those things are great in theory, but is it practical for the United States to implement free housing, free food, and all these free things? No, it's not. And what good is a conversation if it's not practical or realistic, right? Like, does it really do anyone good to have to have these conversations where it's like, well, actually, if we were a civilized nation, we would just provide them with free mental health care, free healthcare, free housing, and free food. Like, okay, yeah, like that would be a great solution to the problem, but that's never going to happen. So like, what's the point in doing that? And you know, my workplace is very guilty of this. Sometimes we sometimes have these meetings where people come and talk about equity and inclusion and talk about like, what can we do to make the world a better place. And a lot of people complain about these meetings, saying, well, nothing ever gets done in these meetings. Everyone comes together and says, yeah, racism is bad. Like, okay, that's not like a huge out there take. We agree racism is bad, but if all we're doing is coming together to say, yes, racism is bad, we should do something about it, but we're not actually doing anything about it, then like, what's the point of these meetings, right? Like, if all we do is come together once a month and say racism is bad, but we don't actually do anything that stops racism or makes the workplace better, then all we're doing is sitting in a position of privilege and patting our back, saying, look at us, we came together and we denounced racism because we're such a good and advanced people. But then at the end of the day, nothing has changed. Like, did we actually do anything? And I think that virtue signaling is so bad. Mozzarella Sticks, good morning, Mozzarella. How's it going? I'm getting ragdolled so much. What's this about the Pope throwing hands? We were just talking about Pope Francis was out here denouncing the Trump administration for not treating people with human dignity and respect, and that if you are for the abuse of immigrants, but say you're pro-life, then you're not pro-life. And he was just out here. He was out here making enemies, and that's also, in my opinion, what a good pope should be doing. Like, if people aren't saying that the Pope's in the news and the Pope is out here making them uncomfortable or saying things that are challenging their worldviews, is the Pope really doing what the Pope is meant to do? So, like, he is out here. It's a good chat. I don't get to talk religion anywhere else. That is part of why I always wanted to do this stream, is I want a chance to talk about religion in a fair and respectful way. And I'm glad that I get to provide that atmosphere for people, because I know that there's not a chance to talk religion in a lot of our world and a lot of our places. There's people who are uncomfortable with the religion are instantly, hey, don't talk to me about that, or even worse, like in the workplace, you can't talk about it because, what are you going to do? You're going to lose your job over it? Like, so yes, feel free to talk religion as much as we want here. Any religion we want to talk about, we are always open to talking. I feel like my Patriot suit runs out of missiles way too fast. I feel like this weapon does not have enough missiles in it. I definitely feel like that is an issue. Come on, smoke it. There we go. So I am very happy with Pope Leo and what Pope Leo has been doing as Pope. And I hope he continues. I hope he continues coming out here and making people question their religion and their beliefs and everything else. Like, as Catholics, we should be questioning our beliefs every day, right? We should be asking ourselves, are my thoughts in line with Christ, or have I strayed away from the path? And that is not something to be ashamed of. That is something every good Christian should do every single day, is ask themselves, like, hey, have I strayed away from the path? Am I doing things right? Am I on the right path? Like, that's not a point of shame. That's a point of pride to say, I check myself every morning and say, yes, I'm on the right path, or no, I've strayed away and I need to do better. Like, that is what we should do, not just Christians, just humans. Every single day we should ask ourselves, am I on the right path? Have I done right by whatever my belief system is, or do I need to check myself? Like, ooh, that one was close. That one was too close.
Get some! Get some! Calling in a hellbomb!
There are way too many of these darn mechs with all these grenades around here. I'm tired of getting ragdolled by all these grenades.
I got the terminal. Hellbound armed. Clear the area.
All right, that's one problem solved. You know, something my RCIA director taught me that I thought was one of the best lessons I've ever received is that Christianity is a constant reorientation towards Christ. That it's not a one and done. It's not a goal of saying, I'm such a good Christian today, so I've made it. It's every day asking ourselves, are we closer or farther away from God? And what do we need to do to make the changes to be closer to God? And that should be done every single day. We had another incident yesterday involving the Jewish community falling victim to, yeah, I don't know much about it, but I did see in the news a synagogue was attacked, and that there's because I'm pretty sure Yom Kippur is still going on right now, that they had to send, like, the police force to a bunch of synagogues to, like, sit outside of them and keep the peace and watch them. Which it's not just Britain, it's not just the UK, right? Like, we've had a bunch of mass incidents at churches recently as well. Like, we are having a lot of issues across the world, whether it be a religious attack or just mental health issues. I don't know which one it is, but yeah, there is a lot of attacks on churches lately, and it is super sad to see. And I even saw there was a couple people posting on the Catholic forum the other day saying, like, what do I do if I don't feel comfortable going to mass anymore because I don't want to be a victim of a mass event? And here's the thing, is that I really hate when people use their religion as an opportunity to be holier than thou, and we've talked about this before, but I really hate, because when someone said, I'm scared because I have little children, I'm scared to go to mass with my little kids because if someone breaks in and starts firing weapons, I'm worried for my kids and my safety. And of course, someone came in and was like, actually, if you were as good of a Christian as I was, you would be okay with this because, you know, when God calls you home, God calls you home, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, this woman's expressing fear for her children, like, and you're using this as an opportunity to be better than you. Like, well, if you were a good Christian like me, you would just accept that we can't control. Like, okay, I get that there is a time and place, and that certainly we can have a conversation at some point about, you know, when God calls you home, God calls you home. I don't disagree with that, but is someone expressing fear for being, harmed in this mass event? Is that the time to really be like, if you were a good Christian as me, then you would understand that, you know, when God calls you home, God calls you home? Like, that's not helping anyone. Like, dude, that's really gross. So, not the time or place. I hate how many people use Christianity as a stick to bludgeon people, as an opportunity to come forth and say, like, oh, I'm just so much better than you. And that's how I feel so many times when people are reading other people's thoughts or feelings in, like, Christian forums and things like that. I feel like they use it as an opportunity to be like, oh, I didn't know I was better than you. Like, anytime someone talks about failing or having problems or doubts, like, I feel like there's so many people that's their first thought is, wow, I didn't know that I was better than you. Okay, Arrowhead. The ragdolling. This is getting out of control. Like, there is so much ragdolling going on here. So much ragdolling. Can we tone it down just a little bit, please? Just like 20% less ragdolling. Holy cow. Michael is God's sword. There's no problem being a Christian soldier. And that's definitely the thing. Like, I don't have a problem with Christians who conceal carry. I don't have a problem with people bringing their carry to church to defend the people. I definitely don't have an issue with that, but I also don't like that we live in a world where people have to consider bringing a concealed carry to church because they're worried about someone randomly breaking in and causing problems. You know, I'd much prefer to live in a world where you don't have to consider, should I bring my concealed carry to church or not? Because what if something terrible happens? I hate that we even have to consider that. Okay, we got that robot. I'm bringing out the big guns. I've got the mech. We're going to fight some of these. It's mech on mech violence. We're going to solve this problem once and for all. Clear out some of these guys so we can finish this mission. Finish the job. Come on, dude. Call in. There we go. Okay. Mission accomplished. Alright, let's get rid of this beacon over here. Let's blow up some of these things so that we can stop dealing with all these mechs. It's so annoying. I guess I should start bringing the other suit. I feel like the other mech is just better. You just run out of missiles so fast in this suit. Okay, everyone's cleared out. Let's get rid of this annoying jammer. Blow that guy's eye up. Okay, let's clear the jammer. Let's clear those so those don't blow me up.
Engaging terminal.
Oh, come on. There we go.
I got the terminal.
All that being said, as many problems as there is in like Europe and the UK and all that, I still can't wait to go visit there. Like I know I post about wanting to go to Germany to like see the Cologne Cathedral. I know I said that I didn't want to visit Paris, France, or London, but you know there's still places I would love to see. I know that there's issues going on. There's some people who are like, hey, you know, you don't want to visit these countries right now because there are issues, and like there's going to be issues everywhere. I still want to see these beautiful and wonderful countries, right? Like I still want to experience them, even if there are some issues. Because, and maybe this is unfair, but like, okay, you've got issues going on over there, but like it's not like we don't have issues going on in America right now, right? So like, there's never going to be a perfect time to travel. It's the same thing with kids, right? When people are like, I'm afraid to have kids right now because of the turmoil in the world. Like, I get that. I understand what you're saying. But also, like, has there ever been, in the history of ever, has there ever been a good time to have children? Like, I feel like no matter what point you look at in history, that there will always be some reason not to have children, right? Like, you had wars and you've got economic downturn, and there's so many issues always ongoing in the world. Like, I understand what you're saying, that it's not a good time, but there's never going to be a perfect time to bring life into the world. So you can't let that stop you, right? Like you're never going to find an absolutely perfect time, and that sucks, but that's just like the reality of the world, I feel like. All right, let's call in a gas strike. If we can get the gas strike close enough, we can blow that one up, and then I can use my grenades on the rest, and we can clear this hurdle. Oh, excellent! We got the call in behind us, so we got all the enemies focused on us. So hopefully our allies can go and clear the other stuff, because we've got all the problems over here. Sticky that. You can or can let life-altering medical debt stop you. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with this. I don't necessarily agree with this statement, but I've heard this statement made before, and it's kind of true. But someone somewhere posted that, like, if you owe the bank $500, that's your problem. If you owe the bank $30,000, that's the bank's problem. Like, definitely having a kid is expensive, but at a certain point, the debt is just a number, right? Like, we all live in debt, unfortunately. All right, Sparky, thanks for hanging out today. Have a good Friday. I know you got some work to do, so hopefully work goes quickly for you, and you can enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday. I might sneak in an extra stream. Honestly, I really want to play Ghost of Yotai, so we might sneak in an extra stream at some point. But have a good day. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with us. I appreciate it as always. All right, let's go see if we can clear the rest of this map out. There's so many jammers on this map. What are they doing? Why are there so many jammers? Also this weekend is the Rosary Bowl. Very excited to go to the Rosary Bowl this year. The Rosary Bowl, every year we have a bunch of people come together to pray the Rosary, and then we have a keynote speaker, we do Mass. And we have this thing put together for Eucharistic miracles that was actually put together by St. Carlo Acutis. So we get to see that. And this year, as a special extra, we have a relic of Carlo Acutis coming. So I'm excited to see what relic they secured for the Rosary Bowl. So I've been invited to the Rosary Bowl as an influencer, as a... to take photos, so I get to go to the Rosary Bowl and wander around and take some photos of the event. It's decently big. I think it's the largest Rosary gathering in Oregon, so very excited for that to go do this weekend as well. So I will have photo updates of that here soon for you all to see the Rosary Bowl. I'm considering if I should live stream it, honestly. Help them set up a live stream so that everyone can enjoy the Rosary Bowl. It's a really cool event. And the Eucharistic miracles is cool to see, but I will say, I know that there are a lot of Catholics who will disagree with me, but I am not required by the Catholic faith to believe in all the Eucharistic miracles. There's definitely a lot of Eucharistic miracles that I have seen, quote, evidence for, that I am skeptical of. For those of you who don't know, the Eucharistic miracles is we believe that the Eucharist is the body and blood of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and so there have been documented events where the host, the Eucharist, forgive the informality, the cracker that people call it, there are instances where the cracker turns red, like blood. And when this happens, it's documented as a potential miracle where what was once under the appearance and the accidents, is what they call it, of bread has now become body and blood. Now, at the same time of that happening, there is also a well-known and documented red mold that can impact bread that looks like blood. It's blood red, but it is simply a mold. And the Eucharist is often kept for long periods of time, so could it develop mold? It could. So when these happen, they call in an independent source to come and validate. And there are some instances where this group that they've called in to document has stated that they have run tests and have found that this is no longer bread, but rather this is now showing as heart tissue or blood. Like when they ran tests on it, it's no longer like classified as bread, it is now classified as blood. Now, the reason I take issue with that is if they've called in a Christian scientist or Catholic scientist firm to run these tests, then obviously there is the potential bias where you have a group who has a vested interest in the outcome of that test, right? So is it possible that these Catholics may do the wrong thing and either taint the study or report the wrong thing because they want it to be true? I'm not saying they are doing that. I'm saying, is that a possibility? Yes. So when it comes to that, I'm always worried that there might be a potential taint in the study because people want it to be true and not because it is true. You know, that is always a potential problem. Not a fan. Okay, Polly, thank you. Not a fan of the new Aztec Batman. Did you? So you watched the new Aztec Batman? Because I've been meaning to go and watch that. How was it? Like, from can you give me an honest review that is not what everyone's saying? Well, it's woke. Can you just tell me something other than if it is woke or not? Because I'm so interested in to see what the Aztec Batman is.
Requesting advanced weaponry.
And why are you not a fan of it? Is it just like a bad story, bad animation? What about it? Because I'm probably going to rent it this weekend and give it a watch for myself, but I'm so excited to hear an opinion that's not just, it's woke garbage. I'm guessing that they probably can't help themselves and are painting Christianity as evil. I'll be honest with you, I cannot give my opinion because I went in wanting to hate it and came out hating it. I still want to hear the opinion. Why did you go in hating it? Like, I want to hear it. I admit that I'm going into it with skepticism as well. One, because I'm tired of them remaking Batman. Two, because, as I said, because it's specifically like the Spanish conquistadors, I'm guessing that there is some level of disdain for Christianity because it's popular in some and many circles to dislike or actively be against Christianity. So I'm guessing that also has a plays an aspect into it. But I want to hear your thoughts. Please share. If you're comfortable with it. If you're not comfortable sharing, I understand. I won't push you. But I really do want to hear about Aztec Batman. Because, like, I love Batman. As much as I come in saying that I don't want more Batman. Like, I love Batman. I attribute Batman as at least a portion of the reason that I am married now is because of Batman. And I know that sounds really cringy to say, but the whole reason, or at least a part reason why I met Emmy, was because she posted on Facebook about Batman, and we were Facebook friends because you're Facebook friends with everyone. I had no idea who she was, but she posted about Batman, so I had to make a comment about it, and then I asked her out on a date. Like, Batman is partially responsible for me being married to the love of my life, so I owe Batman a great deal, but I still want to stop seeing them remake the same Batman story, you know? I'm so sick and tired of the multiverse universe, parallel universe thing. It's overplayed. I definitely agree. This is actually a video that I am trying to put together now, talking about how certain media got so popular, and because of that popular media, it caused annoying trends. And Marvel is guilty of abusing the multiverse, or the verse, right? Like, multiverses have existed in comic books basically forever, but because of the MCU, there are so many people who are like, hey, let's set all of our things. Now we have the Conjureverse, right? The Conjuring needs its own universe, and we need multiverse and parallel. I am sick of that too. I am definitely sick of it. Even Family Guy made a great joke about it, where Chris is watching Peter play some old video game. He was like, this is horrible, I hate it, what universe is it even set in? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, what verse? Like, everything has to be set in a verse, right? Like, you can't just have a movie, it needs to be in the Conjuring verse, or the DCU verse, or the multiverse. Like, it needs to be in a verse. Like, I am sick of that. So I absolutely blame Marvel for that. Just like I blame, like, Fortnite, I'm not a Fortnite hater. I'm not going to sit here and say that Fortnite's the worst thing ever. But Fortnite creating so many people who decided, like, our game needs to have crossovers with everyone, I despise Fortnite for that. I despise Vampire Survivors. Great game. Really enjoy Vampire Survivors. I despise Vampire Survivors for creating 50 million low-effort, awful offshoots of it where people are like, oh, everything needs to be this low-effort, roguelike, vampire-like Survivors with garbage graphics. Like, so many games have inspired so many bad things through... Ooh, that is bright. Being blind, I just got flashbanged by my own computer screen. Minecraft. Minecraft is guilty of it. Minecraft, not a Minecraft hater, but for like 3 years after Minecraft got popular, every single game was, whoa, look at this. It's a retro graphic inspired voxel based video game. Wow, I've never seen that before. I got so sick of the Minecraft clones. And again, that's not specifically Minecraft's fault, but it definitely made that stuff popular and I got tired of seeing it. Dude, playing this game on with the high dynamic resolution, I feel like I'm gonna have a seizure. Like, this is so bright and these lasers are flashing, so I feel like this game is gonna give me a seizure. Let's get out of here, dudes. Like, before the game literally KOs me. Also, if you weren't aware, Pope Leo has called for people to do the rosary every day this month for world peace and global warming. So if you're not already a person who does the rosary a whole lot, now is a good excuse to build the habit and get into the habit of doing the rosary and every day. So you now have a reason and excuse to build the habit. If you didn't see, the Pope is all about it right now. He's saying go out there and do the rosary. So I'm trying to do both. I am trying to do the rosary every day, and I am trying to do workouts every morning, trying to get a little bit more exercise in to push through this weight loss journey. I'm trying to do some of those who was that? Gene Simmons, Jane Fonda, whoever did the exercising in the morning aerobics. I'm trying to do some of those since the weather is bad. I can't go out for walks as much anymore now that we're entering the fall season. I've got to get into my daily tapes. So build your habit for the rosary if you want to. I know there's some people in my chat, not looking at you, Dex, who I'm pretty sure will not be doing a daily rosary. But for the rest of you, the call is there. The call for prayer is there. All right, we got time for one more mission. We'll do one more mission today, and then
orbit synchronized.
Okay, I think we can do this. We're gonna do one more mission, and then it is time to start my day. Jazzercising, that's what it's called. Yes, we are all about the jazzercising now. Let's grab that. Let's grab that and that. Okay, we're good. We are all about the jazzercising. Jazzers.
Launch initiated.
Because I weighed myself. We're at 268 officially, so we are still losing weight. We've lost a pound since the end of the St. Michael fast that we did. But we still have 40 pounds to go. 220. 220 is the goal. I think once I lose 10 more pounds, though, once I hit 260 is going to be the big goal. Once I hit 260, I am no longer in the classification of obese at 260, I will officially just be overweight. And I know that seems a little silly to be celebrating being overweight, but after being obese for so long, being officially classified as overweight, I think will be a big accomplishment. It's Richard Simmons, not Gene Simmons. You come qua. That's right, Gene Simmons is the dude from Kiss, the guy who allegedly stole the clown outfit from the Insane Clown Posse. If you follow the Insane Clown Posse drama at all, Violent J alleges that he came up with like the Dark Carnival and the clown makeup and all that before Gene Simmons, and that Kiss stole his shtick of clowns. So there's two interesting dramas from Insane Clown Posse. They make that allegation, and then they also make the allegation that the reason that they have beef with Eminem was because they were popular before Eminem was popular, and that Eminem put up posters saying that Insane Clown Posse was going to open for one of his shows, trying to ride the clout of Insane Clown Posse, and that they didn't agree to that, and that because he didn't ask for permission beforehand, they didn't show up, and that is why they have beef with Eminem. Allegedly, is because they, without asking, said that they would show up and perform at one of his shows. So there's your two big allegations the Insane Clown Posse has posed.
Team reload required.
I don't know whether those are true or not. It's definitely one of those things where I have to wonder, like, if you've got this many allegations against the haters, you know, are you sure that you're not the problem? I don't know, but that is what they claim. But I am fairly certain, I will say, I can say with confidence, I'm fairly certain that they did not come up with evil clowns. I'm fairly certain the idea of, like, being scared of clowns and evil clowns and all those sort of things, I'm fairly certain that existed long before the Insane Clown Posse, right? Like, I'm pretty sure people disliked clowns or feared clowns in some capacity long before the Insane Clown Posse existed. Let's see. We need to take out...
Enemy tactical asset within range.
We need to take out those guys. They're coming closer. Thank goodness. Okay. Good job on the jammer.
Calling down a sentry.
Now I can do my work. That's enough of you today. I feel like I lasted longer than usual, Dex. I feel like you definitely lose your patience with me long before now, usually. So it seems like my opinions weren't too outrageous today. Seems like we kept the peace for longer than usual today. I can't see what I'm shooting at, but I think I'm hitting something. I think we're hitting something important back there. I don't know. I can't really see, but we're hoping. We're hoping for the best here. I'm scared of their terrible music. Not all their songs are bangers. I will agree some of their music is not the best, but there are some good songs. Like, listen to the Halls of Illusion by Insane Clown Posse and tell me that that's not a certified banger. Like, even if you're a hater, some of their music is good. I feel like you've got to concede at least a few of their songs are good. You don't have to say they're all good, but there are definitely some songs that are good. No, thank you. You know what our parents used to say, right? Like, how do you know you don't like it if you won't even try it? Like, I don't feel like you've tried Insane Clown Posse. I don't feel like you've given it a fair shake. Try it, you might like it. How do you know, Dex? How do you know? There we go. Problem solved. The convoy is down. I did, and I was embarrassed for them. You know what's weird to think about, though? Like, the Insane Clown Posse might be a totally different band if they were made today. If Insane Clown Posse started today, because like they got a lot of their start doing like backyard wrestling, right? And now that like YouTube is a thing, there's a chance that like Insane Clown Posse wouldn't even exist, that they would have just been popular for their backyard wrestling and never started doing music, because they might have just been doing wrestling instead. So there is a possibility that if Insane Clown Posse was formed today, that you wouldn't have them as singers, but they would be like professional wrestlers, that we would be talking about Violent J, the professional wrestler, like in the same way that we talk about The Rock as a professional wrestler, or what's his face? John Cena. And that's so mind-boggling to me, the thought that had they just got their start a few years later, they could have been a completely different band, ensemble, wholly different history. And that's one of those things like we talk about so much. God's plan for us, and like everything happens for a reason. I almost got pushed right into that mine. That was almost really bad. Like Emmy posting on Facebook about Batman. Had she done that one day later, had she done that, not talking about Batman, talking about Superman, had she done any of these things, like, life would have been completely different. It's so just mind-boggling to think how one little change can make all the difference. Is such a fascinating thing to think about. They were in WWE and they flopped. I thought they only did backyard wrestling. I didn't know they were actually like in the WWE. How did they flop? I thought they always talk about like doing the backyard wrestling, where they just did like wrestling in their backyard for fun. I didn't know they were actually like a part of the official wrestling. They wrestled and did theme music for the Oddities. What is the Oddities? Is that a specific wrestler, or is that like a subsection of wrestling? What is the Oddities? They left over some stupid disagreement. I mean, that sounds like them. Like they have definitely had their fair share of I don't know if stupid disagreements is the right word, but like they definitely have had their fair share of controversies and stupid disagreements. Like they signed Boondocks, was one of my favorite parts of Psychopathic Records. He was an amazing rapper. Really enjoy Boondocks, and he got the boot from the group apparently because he was either talking to or dating Violent J's daughter, and he did not like that, did not approve of that, and so they had some sort of controversy over that. But not gonna lie,
Falling down
I kind of see Violent J's point on that one, because I don't know if this is just like hype that they tried to sell Boondocks on, just like hype of like, oh, he's such a mysterious and bad entity. But when they tell the story of signing Boondocks, they literally tell the story of like they got this tape at a show that was covered in blood, and when they went out to meet this guy to see like should they sign him or not, he was literally writing. He was living in a house that like a tree had fallen on his house, so he's living in a house with like no electricity, no water, no plumbing, destroyed house, and he was writing in his own blood because he didn't have any money to afford like pencil, paper, all that sort of thing. And so like, yeah, I understand why if this dude is talking to your daughter, why you'd be like, I don't really want this dude talking to my daughter, so I kind of get it. And as much as people give hate to Violent J, from what I understand, he's actually a really good father, or a really decent dude to us. I know that like his daughter is really into the furry fandom, so he had like a custom fursuit made. So like, how strange is it to think that if you go to a furry convention, there is a non-zero chance that you might run into Violent J dressed up as like a clown dog or something. Like how weird is that to think about?
Range of enemy artillery.
engaging terminal.
Enemy tactical asset. Mission is progressing.
Requesting air support.
I think about that often.
Leaving squadron. Warning, you are in.
Alright, someone took care of those mortars finally. Thank goodness. They were annoying me so bad. Alright, that problem is solved. Let's get this taken care of over here. It's also weird to think of the ICP as husbands and fathers and all that too. Like you listen to their music, and you're like these people are fathers. Like it's such a weird thought, but you know, everyone grows up and changes. I'm sure that they have matured over time, even if their music hasn't necessarily matured with them.
I got the terminal.
All right, let's open this. I think we finally got this mission under control.
Package flyer, dropping package.
Deliver that. Jump around this fence.
I got the terminal.
Mission progress logged.
Okay. Problem solved. Now,
Going supply
if we
beacon.
throw resupply over here. Oh, they're doing it right there. That's a bad spot for that resupply, but I guess I'll live with that. We should be able to take out some of these encampments at a distance with our spears, so...
My life for super.
Tell you, I'm done with the bots after this. I have never been ragdolled so much in this game before, and I'm starting to lose my patience with getting ragdolled around. It is especially frustrating on this front. I don't know if it's because there's just so many extra of the mechs or what, but I am so sick of being ragdolled. It is pushing my patience to the limit.
Dropping a pin. North. Far.
New mag.
Calling down a support weapon. Calling down a sentry. Requesting sentry.
All right, that should good sticky grenade there. That should take care of those two. We've got one more, and then we can move on. Ooh, look at that. I can hit that tower from here. As a treat. Boom.
Requesting air support.
Should have one more fabricator to explode. And I believe I saw it on the backside over here, so we should be able to hit that from the backside. There it is. Brilliant. And then we'll hit that fortress on our way up, and we will be Gucci gang, as the kids say. Remember when that song was super popular, y'all? You remember Gucci gang?
Advanced weaponry.
See, hit that guy. We might be able to hit this fortress from this side and get
Tactical asset near your position.
at least take out a couple of the towers or something early.
Package acquired. Dropping package.
One,
Calling down a sentry.
a two. I'm still actively trying to forget it.
Package acquired.
Three. Four.
Dropships.
Dropping package.
And five.
Package acquired. Dropping package. Calling down a sentry.
Alright, let the sentry do its work. Let's turn this on. Let's throw another sentry out there just to load a distraction up.
Sending down sentry.
Here we go.
Package acquired. Dropping package.
1, 2, 3,
Allied
4,
joining squadron. Deploying
5.
Engaging terminal.
Orbital inbound.
Requesting advanced weaponry.
Requesting orbital.
Alright, that problem is solved. Now we've got to take on...
objective complete.
Oh, they got a laser up there. That'll make this super easy. Maybe. I don't know. Laser's kind of focused on the wrong target over there.
Calling down a sentry.
Got some barrages going on. My internet is... I don't know what's going on with my internet lately. It has been a pain.
Requesting sentry.
Come on, move out of the way. He's standing perfectly to be a problem. Blocked by that bone.
Calling down a sentry.
All right, can we just run by this guy and finish out this fort and get out of here?
Dropship.
No, we're not even close. We still got 4 more of those. Oh boy. Okay, no, this was a bad idea. I think that one was napalm, so that should hopefully no, it's static field. That's not even the right one. The little child. Yeah, I don't know what my internet's doing today. I don't know why my internet's acting up. I think it's time I replace. I think I need to replace my router. I got a message that it can upgrade, so maybe I need to upgrade my router. Maybe it's just too old now. Okay, we're running up here. Perfect. Mission accomplished. We got the ball in the right place. Now we just need to destroy one more, and we're done with that, and we can get out of here. So someone find that last one and destroy it.
Requesting sentry.
Please.
Calling down a sentry. Reloading.
Someone call me back in, please.
Got a sample. Calling down a sentry.
Don't forget about me, please. There you go. No.
Reinforcing.
There we go. They remembered me.
Request approved.
Calling in
Deploying reinforcements.
You know what else I should do this weekend? I need to charge up my RC car and go RCing somewhere. I also got a little Luce statue. I'm very excited to get to use the Luce statue for something. I think I want to take her to like different churches and like have a little passport for her, all the churches she visits. When I moved into my house, they gave me a new one, so I can upgrade. Like my internet service provider has the ability to upgrade my router, and I think I need to upgrade. I think that's the problem. The problem is
Requesting sentry.
that it's impossible to talk to customer service because you have to deal with the AI bot first and foremost, which is really frustrating. But every time I've talked to their customer service, unfortunately, it's all outsourced, and I'm not trying to... This is not a racism comment. This is not a, oh, I hate talking to people in other countries. There is such a great language barrier that I have been unable to get my questions answered because every person I've spoken to has had such a difficulty overcoming the language barrier that they have not answered my question, which is both Emmy and I work from home, so I can't afford to not have my router work, because if the router doesn't work for a day, then I am unable to work from home, and that causes issues. So if you send me a new router, it says that I must put in a date for my old router to stop working and my new router to start working for the upgrade. I can't have any overlap, so is it possible to not have the previous router shut off until I've called and confirmed that I have the new router so that my work from home is not interrupted? That's a very important question to me, and I've talked to them, and every time I've tried to talk to them, I've been unable to get an answer to that because they are simply unable to understand the technicality of the question because there is a language barrier. And again, I'm not being here to hate on people in other countries. I'm not saying, oh, they don't speak English. I'm simply saying that there is a language barrier, and it is a frustrating experience that this is an important question to me, and I can't get it answered because every time I try, they are unable to understand the specific question due to the language barrier. And that is a frustrating experience to have. And I don't feel like it should be that difficult of a question for a internet service provider. I use CenturyLink in our area, got fiber optics. So I got Fios for 1 gigabit. 1 gigabit per second fiber optic internet. Good morning, Daniel. How's it going? Because you have two options in my area. You have CenturyLink or you have Comcast. Both are awful, but I would much rather have fast fiber optics than anything Comcast offers, because Comcast is the crowning jewel of awful internet service providers. I feel like everyone can agree with that.
Calling down a
Doing good? Good to hear. Glad to have you here, Daniel.
requesting sentry.
Sending down sentry.
I will say, do you mean Spectrum? I'm pretty sure CenturyLink and Spectrum are the same company. They're just like called different things in different areas. I do think they are the same company, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But I do like fiber optic internet. Fiber optics do rock. If given the opportunity, you should definitely get fiber optic internet. Dude, you're standing in front of an anti-tank device. You need to move. You're gonna get blown to pieces, dude. Dude, you need to move. The guy has 0 survival instinct. Let's see if we can blow this up so that he can run by. He's sitting there lecturing the turret for being in his way.
Calling down a sentry.
They had Fios in my area. Yeah, Fios is amazing. There you go. Since you couldn't figure out how to sidestep 1 inch to the left, I had to destroy my turret for you. I hope you're happy, random citizen.
You have accomplished Liberty's will. Extract at your discretion.
Sending in an eagle.
I feel like it's that meme from Megamind, like, I love you too, random citizen.
Dropping a pin. Southeast. Far.
Alright, let's see if we can get a good angle on this guy to knock him out. There we go. And honestly, I would take anything over my parents. I talked about this before. Back where we lived, we had dial-up, and I hope to never return to the days of dial-up. Abyss is here. Good morning, Abyss. Or I guess I remember you're not. It's afternoon for you, so good evening for Abyss. I remember. See, I remember. You're where it is evening now. How is it going today?
Calling down a sentry.
Bots. East.
See, if I can get on a good enough hill, I can probably destroy this encampment without much effort if we can get above it. Unless there's that, unless there's a whole
Calling down a sentry.
dude guarding it.
Requesting fortification.
What's new with you today, Abyss? What do you got planned for the weekend? Today I was walking home, an influencer stops me and asks me what I'm listening to. One of those street interviews. I go, oh, Opeth, and he just silently walked off and made me laugh.
Requesting advanced weapon.
I am very glad that we have not run into one of those kind of influencers who stops you to try and do random interviews. But we did when we went to Michael's, a craft store. We did run into an influencer who ran into the middle of the street so that she could get a proper shot of her walking into the craft store. And it was just perfectly summed up influencer culture, right? Screw everyone else but me. I don't care that this is a street where people are trying to drive, and I don't care about my personal safety. I'm going to make everyone else have to move out of my way so that I can get the perfect shot. Like, it perfectly summed up everything wrong with influencer culture in America. Also, speaking of things that are wrong in America, did you all see that they released Oreo cookies that are wrapped in Reese's peanut butter cups? Like that, even as a I'd say former but still fat person working on not being fat, that sounds like too much sugar. That is too much. That is a biblical level of excess and gluttony. That's the type of greed the Bible warns against. That's exactly what people are saying. Although, okay, so we're going to talk about this because everyone else is talking about this. While I was on Facebook memes scrolling through the other day, I did come across a guy who apparently is trying to be Nikado Avocado 2.0. And his most popular video is him saying, "Let's make cereal." And he takes 2 family packages of Oreos and puts it into a bowl with chocolate milk. And that's his cereal. And like, this is why, again, we talk about government overreach and we shouldn't ask for the government to ban things and all that. This is why the government needs to ban people like Nikado Avocado. I understand he was doing it because he's smarter than all of us and that was just a haha as a social experiment. I don't care. People saw that and saw how much money he was making and how popular he was and said, I'm going to do that for myself. And now we have a true copycat who is going on camera and eating 120 Oreos doused in chocolate milk for views. And they're literally destroying their body on camera for money and views, and we need to put a stop to that. And it's awful that this person is destroying themselves for attention. Because they have that video, they have one where they said they needed a snack before they went to McDonald's, so they got 2 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts and ate 2 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts in one sitting. And their other most popular video was where they said that they were meeting some friends to go out to dinner, so they needed a snack before they went to dinner, and they ate 2 Little Caesars pizzas and 2 bags of Crazy Bread as a snack before they went to dinner. And I'm very certain that they're doing this just for attention and views, and we need to put a stop to that. I went to watch the new Chainsaw Man movie yesterday with my partner, friend, and cousin. It was very fun. I'm going to relax the whole weekend. That is excellent. I personally haven't gotten into Chainsaw Man, but I'm definitely glad that you got to enjoy the movie. I heard the Demon Slayer movie is going bonkers. I've heard that the new Demon Slayer movie is doing real numbers.
Today you've carved another foot in a long climb to liberty.
I wish I got into Demon Slayer. I don't know. I've tried watching Demon Slayer like 3 times. I've just never gotten into it. We're the only ones in the theater too. We got those nice recliner seats for dirt cheap. We even had drinks and snacks. That is awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Demon Slayer, I don't think there's anything wrong with Demon Slayer. I think I have just reached a point in my life where like shonen anime just isn't made for me. And I mean, it's not, right? Like, shonen anime very specifically targets, like, 12 to 16-year-old boys. I understand I'm not the target demographic for shonen anymore. So it might truly be that, like, My Hero Academia is my last shonen, and I've just moved on from that genre. And as we've talked about so many times, it is okay, right? It is okay if something is not made for me. It is okay that that there exists media that is not made for me. That is perfectly fine, and we accept that. I just didn't like Demon Slayer's writing. Fair, very fair. Speaking of food, like, I also eat a lot, like a huge amount of food. I'm tall, yeah, but I'm also on the slimmer side. It surprises me that I eat enough to feed a small town. It might catch up to you. It might catch up to you. You know that there are times where I've seen a lot of people who eat a lot, and then they get a little bit older, and then that metabolism finally catches up to them. So do be warned that is a possibility. There is a real possibility that eventually it catches up to you. All right, we've got our coyote all decorated up. Unfortunately, my back is starting to hurt and I've got a sink full of dishes to do, so it is time for me to get up and start my day. So I think this is where we will call it a day as my computer locks up. So I guess that's just one more sign that we need to be done here as my computer locks up for the day. So as always, let's end with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, thank you for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. Today, we continue to pray for all the victims of violence as there continues to be violent outbursts across the world, whether it be religious, political, war, whatever the reason for it. Lord, bring about an end to the violence. Lord, we pray for all those people who are suffering, all the people who don't have enough food, water, shelter, whatever it may be. Lord, provide for them. We pray for all the people who are living in fear right now because of war, because of violence, whether it be mental illness, whether it be social media, whatever is the cause of the fear. Lord, help to soothe their hearts. And finally, we pray for the souls who've been forgotten, the souls who have no one left to pray for them, the souls in purgatory. Lord, help them. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. As always, it is a pleasure to start my Fridays out right with all of you for the great conversation and the wonderful day. Thank you all so much. Have a blessed day and a good weekend, and we'll be playing Ghosts of Yotai on Monday morning. So look forward to that. Have a blessed day, everyone.